Good morning, friends. Welcome back to a gray and beautiful morning here at Honey Apple Farm. You might be thinking to yourself, what do you mean a beautiful morning? It's gray. It is, and this is beautiful because we had a week of 100-degree temperatures where the thermometer was up at or over 100, felt like 105, 110. And then last night we had a crazy storm come through and a lot of rain yesterday, and everything is cool and comfortable and watered this morning and absolutely gorgeous. It's one of the strange things about gardening. When I was living in the Pacific Northwest, where it rains a lot, I didn't really appreciate the rain. And now living here in Oklahoma, where it doesn't rain as often, and also having a garden that needs water, I have really changed my opinion about enjoying the rain. Yesterday it was so nice just to sit in the living room and listen to the storm come through. So I want to give you guys a garden tour. It is the first weekend in August, and I want to show you around and show you what's been happening. So as always, we start with the patio garden, which, to be honest, you guys, is not doing super great this year. Last year, this was green and lush and beautiful, and this year, it's really quite hit or miss. The two catnips that were doing really well have mostly died back, although you can see there's new green parts starting. So these are alive, but they're not all alive. And this one, which is, if you guys remember, that's the sickly one, which did recover. You can see all this light stuff is the part that it recovered. It also has died, but there's a new one coming up here. They are annuals. It's just that I got lucky last year and they never died. So this, however, is two of our marigolds, which are looking great, although I don't see a single flower head anywhere. And then that is the other marigold, and I don't know what's going on with this one. It keeps getting floppy and droopy. It's not because it needs water. In fact, when I water it, it doesn't take very long at all for water to come out the bottom. So maybe it's too wet. I don't know. And we lost the peppermint, mostly for the same reason, and we lost the lemon balm as well. And then these have been empty since the spring. Our mint has come back though, which is really great. So yeah, and this, I think I put some kind of like lemon mint in here, and I am pretty sure that's what this is. Yeah, it's got some kind of herb smell to it, so that's pretty exciting. And that one doesn't seem to need very much water at all, which is lovely. So not a super lush area over here, and in fact, I'm thinking next year, because I do have to come out here and water these every day in 100-degree heat, because there's only so much soil in here. They don't have the depth of soil that things would have in the ground. So I'm really thinking next year about how I can reduce or eliminate having the patio garden altogether. The reason it's here is because these are things that don't do well in 105-degree direct sunlight, but I think they might do well. Or like the mint family stuff, it'll spread like wildfire if you just leave it in the ground without a container to hold it. So something to think about for next year. Also, our raised herb bed. This is the third year of the raised herb bed. Not looking nearly as lush and green as it did in the spring, although it is looking much happier after it's had rain. When I've come out here the last couple of days, even though I've been watering it every day, these sage leaves were just super floppy because it's hot. But now that the weather's cooler and they've had some rain, they're looking pretty perky. But you can see in the middle there that it's all kind of splayed out. So I haven't been harvesting anything from these. We need more time. Peter's run out of what we had, so I definitely need to come out here at some point and harvest. But I didn't want to harvest because it was 105 degrees, and I thought the plants had enough to do just, staying alive. Let's see what's going on in the beds. I planted some carrots here a few weeks ago. I have seen nary a sign of a carrot, although to be fair, I planted it 2 weeks before it was 105 degrees, and I don't think carrots are a 105-degree vegetable. I have been, however, weeding copious amounts of grass out of here every day. Our tomatoes, though, look at our tomatoes, you guys. This cage is doing really well. It's doing fantastically well, and I need to come out here and try. So there's some vines that are trying to come up the middle here of my square, and this was my attempt to give them something to hold on to, although as you can see it really didn't make much of a difference. But I was thinking if I could attach these down, I could give them something to hold on to come up through the middle as well. But yeah, we've got lots and lots of tomatoes. Unfortunately, with the rain, the sudden amount of rain, pretty much every one of them is cracked. Can you guys see? There's a crack here. Let me actually show you. They're all cracked like this. There's a name for this. I don't remember what it's called. And that's what happens when tomatoes get basically too much rain. They split their skins. And all of the tomatoes that you can see here, the red tomatoes that are ripe, are split. So either it just means that we need to cook with them right away or dehydrate them right away, because although the skin is still technically in there, it's much more liable to tastes so good. It's much more liable to rot and go soft. This is a delight. This is our turnip bed. I planted these at the same time as I planted the carrots, and some of these have come up, and they're doing well despite the 100-degree heat. There should be 2 lines of them, so obviously most of them didn't come up, but some of them did, and I had to put the cage over them because the rabbits were very interested in the turnip greens. So I haven't been in here weeding since I put the cage on 2 weeks ago. So I've got a couple clumps there and a couple clumps there. I have these are the bigger variety, I think, and those are the smaller variety. So I'm hoping that they'll do well, and I have enough of both to plant a second crop if these do well. This is our bok choy, which I think is on its last legs, and our chili pepper. We did harvest about 4 or 5 chili peppers off of this plant. It's not as big as the one last year, and I think, again, it's because we bought it when it already was in flower. We should have bought one that wasn't in flower yet, so it could spend more time growing out its green stuff. Anyway, let me show you. This is the stalk of the bok choy. It is massive, and I think I just need to cut that out and put a new, you can see the leaves are starting to get super gross and disgusting. So I think this is past its prime, as well as all these seed pods on here. And we can take that out and either grow a new bok choy, or my actual plan is to start growing some basil in here, because the basil that I planted on either side of our broccoli has not come up. That was 3 times and we're out. 3 times I tried to plant basil in this bed and none of it worked. I'm letting the broccoli just go to seed. I know you're not supposed to do that, but I'm kind of curious. I've never seen a broccoli growing in the wild, so this bed has kind of become my lost cause experiment bed. And I'm just letting it do whatever it wants because I can't pull it out. It's the first time I ever grew broccoli, and I just love it. So that's what's going on in the raised beds. This is pretty exciting. I showed you guys in the intro. These 2 sunflowers have opened in the last 2 days. So when I was out here on Friday, they were not open. And then Friday morning, and now they're both open. They're about my height. This one actually is right on par with the camera, and that one's a little bit taller. They are supposed to be 2 different varieties. One of them is supposed to be evening sun, and one of them is supposed to be the yellow branching unknown variety from the front. So we'll see. This one looks like it has a little evening sun around it, but not much. So there's pretty much not much else going along. There's one sunflower, still kind of trying to make it. Not a whole lot going along. I've pretty much let the fence go to seed. This is some kind of berry plant, a different kind of berry plant. One more sunflower here. The sunflower here has made it up. And then all the back there, that's the, I forget what it's called, but it's toxic. Ooh, can you guys see there's some morning glories in there? Let me see if I can zoom in. We have had some of the morning glories starting to bloom. I don't know if you'll be able to see. There's a couple up in there. Pale blue. Yeah. There you can see it. There's one there and there's one there. We have had some morning glories starting to bloom, which is great because the morning glories have taken over this entire bed. So lesson learned, y'all. When the morning glories started climbing all over things, I thought, oh, that'll be cute. That'll be lovely. That'll be nice. Yeah, now there's basically nothing in this bed except for sunflowers and morning glories. All the vines you see everywhere, those are all morning glories. And I don't mind morning glories and I don't mind the vine look, but I really wish we had a little bit more biodiversity in here. The only place there's something else is up here right in the front. So happily, our zinnias have recovered. I actually had to come out and water the zinnias a couple days ago. Their foliage was looking super droopy. I didn't really want to have to come out and water anything back here, but I also really like being able to see these zinnias from the back door, and I don't think they were going to make it if they hadn't had a little injection of water. So now that they've had some rain, of course, they're happy as can be. I'm excited for more reds to come out. We've got a couple of pinks here. Oh, it's starting to rain again. This is one of the reasons I came out. This was curved over and drooping down to the ground on Thursday. And so that's one of the reasons I came out and watered. Hello, bee. And yeah, just sunflowers and morning glories. That's all that's back here in that giant massive bushes behind there. And this was our pride and joy. You can see it's looking pretty ratty because the squirrels have been up it and pretty much broke every one of the stems down to the ground. But it's continuing to produce. And this is a surprise. This is, last year we had a ton of this here in the front bed called Love Lies Bleeding Amaranth. And I don't know how this reseeded itself, but it did. So we have one Love Lies Bleeding Amaranth. The gold poppy seems to be done blooming, although it's still here. But it's pretty much done making little yellow poppy flowers. So that's pretty much it for the wildflower bed. Oh, look. I forget what these are, but we had some in here last year and we have some at the front. They're kind of thyme. It's nice to see that coming up through with all of this. All of this. This is just all morning glory. All over the back here. And it's up into the berries as well. Jack the giant beanstalk is completely done. I need to cut him down and save him his stalk for next year. And then we have some sunflowers over here as well. And these are not morning glory vines. These are a different kind of vine. I don't know. At least I thought they were a different kind of vine, but now I see. Look. I do believe that's a morning glory. There's one tucked away up in there. There's another one tucked away over here. And then I don't know, you guys see all this brown dead stuff over here? This looked like maple leaf size stuff and it was going great. See? Kind of maple leafy. And then it all just died. So I don't know if that's because of the heat or if they tried to kill it. That comes over from our neighbor's fence. And the peas along here are all gone. They're all dead, as are the beans. Oh, I see one bean pod there. Yeah, the beans are pretty much gone. And I've been trying to keep, we lost one of the mini sunflowers. This is the last one left. And I don't know that it's going to do much. So, but I'm pleased. I'm really pleased with this whole area. This is our brush pile. So I'm glad that things are crawling over it. I'm hoping they're breaking down what's in there and turning it into usable things. And then this is a surprise. We have a couple of zinnias. We have a clump here. This is all one stem. And then we've got another clump coming out there. So I don't know where the zinnias came from, but it's really happy making to see them back here. So that's the back garden. And then let me take you up to the front. Okay, so continuing our garden tour up to the front. This is one of our successes, I would say, having the sunflowers along this side of the house. I will probably do this again next year because it's nice to have something to look out and see. It gives the birds a chance to eat. This one came down and is growing up off the ground, which seems to be perfectly happy. We've got a little tiny guy coming up here that hasn't even done anything yet. And then this one, somebody ripped off the entire top of the stalk. But yeah, these look great. And you can see there's more down here. And again, you can see our squirrel population has been hard at work stripping off branches, but they seem to be thriving even when they are not in their normal position. Something came through and ripped that off. This one's come all the way down. Yeah. Oh, I see somebody's been using the top of our mulch pile for a processing center. That's fine. And then up to the front bed, which usually, you guys, the front beds are my pride and joy, but I have to say, after the derecho, I just kind of lost interest in the front beds. As you can see, the sunflower stalks are all over the place. There's one down here. Let me show you. There's very few of them stayed completely upright. There's one here that they actually ran over with the mower and I'm trying to get to regrow. There's a bunch of them here. All of these just fell over and I have been letting them do their thing, but it's not the most aesthetically pleasing and I get that, but more evidence of squirrels. See, and that one came down too, and that one came down, and that one, they don't look tidy, you know, they look raggy, they look messy. And yes, I could pull them out, but again, that would defeat the purpose of having them up here. So I'm kind of letting them do their thing and assuming that they will die off at some point. This one though, this one is extraordinary. It kind of comes out and does a loop and goes up. It is as tall as the house and there's still not a head on it. It's enormous. Take a look at the size of this. Look at that. I mean, it's huge. I can't even, I don't want to squish any ants. I can't even wrap my fingers around it. It's so huge. And I'm hoping, because all this space has been let in here, you guys can see there's new cosmos growing. That's what these little feathery things are. So I'm hoping that having this new open space in here will open up some room for some more different kinds of flowers. But Peter and I have decided next year we're not doing sunflowers up here. We're going to do something else. And then, to finish the tour, car's kind of in the way here, but I will shoot down. This is the sunflower patch. I think it's done pretty well. Most of them did not get very tall. The one you can see down there is the tallest. Most of them are about my height, but they mostly have flowered, and they have done their thing. There's one that's crashed down onto the driveway. Let me go around the car here. You guys can see a better perspective. Yeah. And then, of course, there's this one, which is pretty much the same size that it was when I put it in, or a little bit taller. So not everything has grown, but quite a lot of the things in here have grown and flowered, some of them profusely. The cat loves to sit up there. This is the living room window. He loves to sit up here and watch the squirrels come up and down. There's birds that come up and down. We have a pair of, I think they're goldfinches, that I have seen in here several times. And then what I love is that we have a couple of zinnias that have made it, or a pair of zinnias that have made it. So I love looking out here and seeing the zinnias. We probably should have, in hindsight, kind of maybe interplanted these with some zinnias. I think there's enough space here that the zinnias would have had some sun, but I didn't think about it until too late. So that's the garden tour. The front beds are not as fabulous. The back beds are doing fine, mostly. And we're just going to have to get through August. Last year, August was a marathon of 100-degree days. It was really hot. It was really dry. So happily, this year does not appear to be last year. We are getting rain on a regular basis. I am not going to harvest any of the sunflowers I did last year. And in fact, most of what we harvested last year, I still have. So I'm just letting the squirrels and the birds have the sunflowers and planning for next year. So that will be my next video. I can't wait to share with you guys what we are hoping to do next year. It's a huge expansion and I'm really excited about it. So I will see you guys in that next video. Thank you so much for hanging out today. Hope you have a great rest of your day. I will see you soon. Bye for now.